Welcome. Let me thank you for taking time out of your schedule to view this business opportunity. The person who invited you, they saw something in you and they actually thought that you could possibly be a great asset to our company. Our company name is Experior Financial Group. Now, what we're going to talk about tonight is we're going to talk about who we are, today's world, what we do, and then what Experior could possibly mean to you in your life. My name is Keith Robertson. I am a senior financial agent with Experior. As you can see from my work history, I have been in financial services for most of my adult life. 2 or more decades in financial services industry, I should say. Through my experience, there was one thing that rings true. It didn't make a difference if a person was a doctor, cook, lawyer, coach, teacher, CEO, whatever their level of income was, they all had one thing in common. And that thing was they needed a better understanding of financial literacy. They needed a better understanding of what to do with their money and how money worked. Now, who we are, just to the point and plain and simple, we are a financial services company with the focus of educating our clients. We are MGA and IMO. So MGA is an acronym for Managing General Agent, which is in Canada, which we'll go over in a moment, and an IMO, which is a insurance marketing organization, which is in the US. Now, the founders, Jamie and Leanne Prickett, what they saw in their tenure in the insurance industry, because they have a combined experience of 16 years in the insurance industry, what they affectionately call their practice company, right? They learned from that company what the actual client needed, not necessarily only what the client needed, but what agents also needed. They saw deficiencies in the marketplace. And so what they did was, in 2014, they started Experior Financial Group. Now, we've grown to over 4,000 agents, and we're growing every day. But Experior is the first Canadian insurance brokerage to actually move from starting in Canada and moving to the US. The Canadian headquarters in Guelph, Ontario, and then the US headquarters located in Buffalo, New York. Now listen to our mission statement. Building financial foundation for families to empower them today and leave a legacy for tomorrow. I'm gonna say that again. Building financial foundations for families to empower them today and leave a legacy for tomorrow. Plainly put, we show families how to leave an inheritance for their children's children. Now let's look at Experior's timeline. When you have the right opportunity and it meets the right time, it leads to success. Now, as I stated, 2014, Experior opened their doors. In 2015, they had over 200 licensed agents in Ontario. In 2016, they acquired 3 additional brokerage firms. In 2017, they were featured in an insurance journal where it was stated that they were the 6th largest insurance company in Canada. In 2018, they were licensed in all the provinces of Canada. In 2019, most importantly to us, they became the first Canadian insurance brokerage to expand in the US. So typically companies would start in the US and expand abroad, but Experior started in Canada and they expanded into the US in 2019. 2020 hit. What was the thing that happened in 2020? Of course, COVID, right? But yet we continue to push forward. They actually surpassed 1,300 licensed agents during that time. Now, since that time in 2021, they had 40 states which they were licensed, 40 states in the US in which they were licensed, and over 1,700 agents. But I'm proud to say, as of today, 2024, we are licensed in all 50 states in the US, and we have over 4,000 licensed agents. Now, today's world, like I said, COVID happened, and we know one thing for sure, change is constant. And changing times have People were changing lifestyles, even with the work, right? Because most businesses, they had to find a new way to do business during the pandemic. What I just said, we were locked down, right? We couldn't leave our homes, so business still had to function in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And many times that businesses learned how to have their employees work from home, right? Making them more efficient than they were actually when they were at work. Because when it first happened, these big businesses, they thought that, hey, got employees at home, they're not going to be working, they're going to be easily distracted. But what happened? They became more productive. Employees became more productive working from home. And what this caused in our overall perspective of our country, individuals learned how to function externally, right? We learned how to do more transactions online. We learned how to engage in business practices via Zoom and other mediums like that online. Nowadays, right, you can get information pretty much on any and everything. But at the same time, all information is not good information. So you get information on how to do things, even brain surgery, you could probably get it. But if I was to go online and I was to review, excuse me, and learn how to do brain surgery, I doubt if you let me do that on you. But in the financial industry, people became confused because of all this information. You got information about interest rates. You got information about the prime rate being increased. What is the Fed going to do? What's Jerome Powell going to do? We see the stock market doing higher highs. Everything is going up. You see the prices are going up everywhere. But, on the news, you're hearing, hey, the economy is doing well. You see your taxes are being increased. You see your mortgage. Just all of this financial information to the point that what happened, I call it, you get to the point of being overwhelmed to a certain degree where you get analysis paralysis, right? All this information is coming where it actually stifles you to move forward. But let me tell you what, we simplify the complicated by empowering families with education. What is it that we do? Would you agree? You have to ask the right questions, because when you ask the right questions, you get an understanding of truly what are the client's needs. What are the needs now, and what is it that they would like to do in the future? Then when you take the answer to those questions and you formulate them into a customized plan of action, you basically put, we give our clients a roadmap, giving them directions on how to reach their financial destinations. There's one thing for sure. There is no one size fits all where it comes to your family financial well-being is concerned. We provide customized solutions for our clients' financial needs. There is no putting a round peg in a square hole. What our clients need is what we actually offer them. And with our offering, we have solutions for our clients with the best of the best. As you look, do you see any of these providers that look familiar to you? Some of these companies have been around for hundreds of years. And this is what we have to serve our clients with, the best of the best in the insurance marketplace. Now, when you hear life insurance, what's the first thing you think about? I would say most often it's death benefit. If you were to pass away suddenly, would you want your family's lifestyle to be worse, stay the same, or possibly even better? I would say most people would say stay the same or better. But I see all too many GoFundMes today. Now GoFundMe is not a way of helping the family continue on their current lifestyle or even better. The GoFundMe accounts are used just to acquire enough funds to bury someone's loved one. But GoFundMes, they've raised $333 million annually. However, 3.3 million, there are 3.3 million mortalities in the United States each year. So 3.3 million people die each year. 41% of those individuals that die is stated that they are underinsured. And then you have another 30% that don't have insurance at all. So let's deal with the 30%. So if we say 30% of 3.3 million, then we're looking at 990,000 people. Now, if we take that 990,000 people and put into that big number I said a moment ago, 333 million, that equates to about $336.36 per person. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather have a GoFundMe, or would you rather have a plan of action that includes a life insurance policy so your family can continue living the lifestyle which they're accustomed to? Then we look at debts, right? Now, due to the increased cost of living, credit card debt is at historical highs. You have housing costs at historical highs, car prices at historical highs. Let me say this. Bread at historical cost highs. I mean, everything has increased. But when we look at the credit card debt, we're talking about $1.1 trillion in credit card debt. That equates to the average household having $7,900 in credit card debt. Now, let me ask you this question. If there was a way to save tens of thousands in interest and become debt-free years sooner, would you be open to that? Retirement. At one point in time, the goal was to reach 65. If I can just work till I'm 65, then I can retire and I can live the rest of my life. But that's no longer the case. We have things now like terminal illness, chronic illness, critical illness, critical injuries, Alzheimer's. Nothing states that a person is going to be able to work to 65. And now the key question is, do you have what's needed to require 65? Let me ask you another question. How many people that you know that are 65 or older and still working? Not that they want to work, but I'm saying people that still have to work. Nowadays, we need to get an understanding. We need to understand what our FIN number is. Okay, what is that FIN number? What is FIN? FIN is that financial independence. Purely stating the amount of money that you need to acquire so that you can continue to live a comfortable lifestyle without the traditional paycheck. Do you know exactly what day that you're going to be able to retire? If I could show you how to get there quicker, would you want to see how? With hundreds of financial companies out there, why are people still struggling? Well, because of transaction-based advice. It's a lot of companies out there and agents that have limited resources when it comes to products, and they will put their client into the product that they have. If all you sell is vanilla ice cream, everyone that comes into your store, what are you going to give them? What's the best thing for them? It's going to be the vanilla ice cream, right? And unfortunately, there are some insurance companies like that. Hey, they have one thing and they sell that one thing to all their clients. However, we operate under the education-based advice approach because we understand there is no one product, there's no one size fits all, right? No one size fits all when it comes to financial well-being of a family, like I stated. Education-based advice. This is where the client understands that this is what you need, this is why you need it, and this is how it's going to help you. And this is what we at Experior operate under. Don't need this. People don't need that smooth talking salesman that's going to sell them another product that they can't understand. What people need is a plan. People need a clear, concise plan, and they need a coach. Michael Jordan is undeniably the GOAT, the greatest of all times where basketball is concerned. But could he have reached this pinnacle in his career that he did if it was not for his coach, Phil Jackson? I venture to say, no, he couldn't have. You know, it's a saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes you need a guide that can see things differently than what you're looking at to help you reach your destination. This leads us to our expert financial analysis, what we call it EFA. So what we do is we sit down and find out what a family needs and concerns are. We then gather all the relevant financial information. This is called that EFA, the expert financial analysis. It ties together all the things that we've talked about with the family's household, and this produces that all-important FIN number. And we put this together on a report, and we sit down and we go over this information with the client. You know, we usually save a client time because versus going to 2, 3, 4, 5 other people and talking and trying to get an understanding what's best for them. Would you say that typically when you go to different individuals to try to get financial information, they're not going to collaborate with each other to give you your best plan? It's like building a house without a blueprint. Oh, the house looks nice, but excuse me, what happens when you ring the doorbell and the toilet flush, right? Having a coordinated, holistic plan is what most people need and what most people want. Actual how, what, and why their financial picture. And this is what we provide for our clients. And we actually do this yearly. This is not something we do one time. Because again, remember, we're not a transactional based company. We are educational advice based company where we come in, we look at it, and we put a plan in place. But it's just like a car, right? You need to tune your car up. Each and every year, you so many miles come, you need to tune your car up so your car doesn't break down. Your financial plan is the same way. So we come in each year, again, at no cost, and we revisit the plan. Now, what if you say, oh, I already have a plan in place? That it's great that you may have a financial plan in place, but we have no problem. And actually, we enjoy giving our clients second opinions. You know, we want to make sure that as many families that are out there that we can touch, we're guiding them in the right direction so they can have the financial freedom to create that legacy for their family's family. Well, that is what we do for each and every family. Again, you know, we sit down with them free of charge, we put a financial plan together for them, and we direct them along that path. I want to pivot now, and we're going to go into the last segment here where we're going to talk about what Experior means to you in your life. I'm going to introduce you to the next speaker. His name is Aurelio Evans. Aurelio Evans, we call him the godfather of the U.S. Reason being because when Experior decided to venture over into the U.S., Aurelio was one of the people that was contacted to help with that endeavor. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to my mentor, Mr. Aurelio Evans.